Hi, I'm Debra Wallace, licensed marriage and family therapist. My positive reframe today is on death. Naturally, death inevitably will bring suffering and grief no matter what. However, I have found that when we are aware and consciously process the reality of death, we can move through the conflicting feelings and come to radical acceptance of this, which then inspires us to be more intentional on how we live today, how we handle and show up in every precious moment that we have within ourselves and within this earthly dimension and all those people around us. So it can inspire us to live more wholeheartedly and enjoy and savor the good that is around us, which leads to a more fulfilling and positive life. This is not easy. It's a tall order. Um, I have, as we all do, have many losses, and two that strike out most are I had a stillborn in between my oldest and youngest child. I had a few miscarriages, and the last one being a stillbirth. And I have on my website, I wrote a blog on my grandest positive reframe, which was on the death of my baby, which I assure you brought immense pain and was not an easy process. However, because I gave myself permission to grieve, and it made sure that when I did give birth next, have a child next, that I wanted to make sure I gave birth without fear and let go of control, knowing that any moment with that baby, even if it was not to full term, was still a gift. And it forced me to nurture myself, to take care of myself. Now I'm still human. I've had to go on and learn this message many more times, although that was so striking to say, slow down, take care of yourself. Nothing matters more than your well being, because there were choices that I was faced with. I was working a very stressful job at the time. Um, and which inspired me to make different choices, to move across the country, to change my life completely so that I could provide the most special time for my next child who was born and my child who was alive. And so that one was huge. And then more recently, my mother just passed away, and I had made the choice about, being that I lived away from her for 15 years and she had many health struggles, I came to a point where, again, I wanted to come and be by her, because I just felt in my heart that I knew she didn't have much time left and I wanted to be there for her. And so I had to make the hard decision um, to leave my home in this other country that I loved, which was not received well by everyone. And it was a very hard decision to make, and it came with loss, great loss, significant loss that I still grieve. Yet, knowing that I made that choice these last 3 years with my mother was extremely precious. And I did so much, as I believe in reparenting and healing transgenerational trauma. I knew I had the resources to do that, and I wanted the opportunity to do that with my mother while she was alive, because I knew I would regret it if I didn't. So, um, as hard as it was, she required much care on many levels. It was worth every second of it, and it was hard. Yet now, and I got to hold her hand and be there and give her, I believe in conscious conception to conscious death. And I believe everyone deserves that dignity and level of respect. And I wanted to give my mom the same love that she had given to me when I know she was suffering and going through so much, that she still mattered. She still showed up in ways. And yes, still human, still miss the boat on things, just as I've done, as we will all do in this human form. We will miss things, yet she also was very apologetic, and we got to heal a lot in this time. It's emotional because as I have a YouTube video on grief, which I really encourage you listening to that one. I also have one on trauma and stress, because there's so many layers to this journey. Yet, although that decision was hard, it helped me make that decision. And I even felt as I was with her, I knew it was getting closer and closer as her suffering was worse and worse. And I remember thinking, because even with when I lost my baby, I thought, every moment, I would even keep her picture, my stillborn, I would keep her picture present, so that it's always seen, whoever would walk into the house, and so that I could see it, because it just reminds me how precious. And so I knew, even though, yes, it's my mother, we still have mother-daughter dynamics, we still had a lot of stressors, we still had issues, that ultimately, when I would feel overwhelmed and we would have our struggles, um, I would be able to move through them much more quickly, knowing that this could absolutely be my last time with her. And even at bedtime, I would sing to her. I would do the things she would do for me, um, and I would apologize whenever I lost control or raised my voice or was snappy. I made sure that I apologized, and she did the same for me, and it was beautiful. And I'm so grateful that I had that time. And so I appreciate you listening. Please follow, share, subscribe, and take wonderful care, because every moment really is precious and we don't know when our last day is. So take a moment to connect and think about how you want to show up for yourself, especially include yourself in this circle, and for those around you. Take wonderful care.